Thank you and welcome back to the Blab.Cafe. This is a place where you can introduce your business products and or services. Today is Blab.Cafe number 71. Are you a social media monster? Are you interested in promotion? If so, you're in the right place. Thanks for joining. Hi, and welcome back to the Blab.Cafe. This is a place where you can introduce your business products and or services. Today I have Kansu Indie Travel. Did I say that right?
Kansu International Travel.
International Travel. Okay, cool. And your name, sir?
My name is J. Anthony Bronston here in New York City.
Great, great. So what kind of projects you got to talk about today?
I am a travel agent and also a travel club as well. I have a discount travel club that works sort of like a Sam's Club, Costco's type of model where you have to be a member to get the discount.
Okay, cool, cool. What kind of do you have any updates or any kind of announcements that you can talk about?
Yes, actually, for anyone who is interested in traveling and for those who are already travel agents in the industry, we have a tremendous product that is launching next weekend, Saturday the 30th, called the Vortex, which is going to be an industry changing standard of for travel. All the details are not out yet. Everything will be out when it launches. You'll be able to catch it on my website at consuintltravel.com. But basically, it's putting us ahead of the game in terms of competing with other travel agents. So if you are a travel agent and you are interested in increasing your commissions, sales, and income, please get in touch with me because this is a product that will absolutely skyrocket your business.
Cool. So you're going to blow everybody else out of the water, eh?
Pretty much join or perish.
Oh, that's cool. You got to be aggressive.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, that's good. That sounds great. Well, I'll go ahead and ask you to share your links in the chat bar, and then I
Okay.
will extract those and put those over into the show notes over on YouTube.
Awesome.
But thanks for stopping by, and yeah, I'll make sure to get those and upload them. And you'll be able to see this video. Just make a note to yourself that this is Blab.Cafe number 71.
Okay.
And that way you can go over there and take a look at it. I'll post the link to the YouTube channel so you can find it a little bit easier.
Awesome.
Thanks a lot for coming by.
Thanks, Don. Appreciate it.
Hi, and welcome back to the Blab.Cafe. This is a place where you can introduce your business products and or services. Today I have Tracy with No Filter. Tracy, how are you doing?
It is great to meet you, Donald. And like I said, I was just stopping by here, didn't know what was going on, but I'd be happy to share what I do. I am in Chicago, Illinois, and I am an executive with a direct selling company. I've been in the company just under 2 years, and I've done extremely well. And in my research and self-development, I discovered that there's more than one way to skin a cat. So I have a few different internet opportunities as well going along with my direct selling. The company that I work for is a health and wellness company, and we are global. I have released personally 140 pounds. It was time for me to get my health back. So that was a personal decision that turned into a business. And I'm an
Hi, and welcome back to the Blab.Cafe. This is a place where you can introduce your business products and or services. Today we have Mac SEO tips, or otherwise known as
Glenn Bearski.
Glenn Bearski. How you doing, Glenn?
Good.
So what kind of projects are you working on, or what kind of services do you provide?
Well, I try to speak directly to Apple users who historically have had a real disadvantage for many years, whether it was productivity software, utilities, things that were available on Windows but weren't available for the Mac. Or there were tools that there were versions of it, but it wasn't as good as the Windows version, or things like that. So I try to speak to the internet marketing, website development, and search engine ranking issues from a uniquely Apple and Mac perspective. If you're trying to accomplish this, or this on a Mac, these are the better tools to be, using, or the software solutions for it. And just try to, that's my niche, to find a niche within a niche.
Well, that sounds great. So with Mac, I wouldn't really be able to pose any questions to you because I do not use a Mac. I've been using a Dell computer that I first got when I first moved to Denmark, and then I just decided to stick with regular standard computers. Now I got an HP laptop, and it's been serving its purpose really well. I just upgraded and got that about 6 months ago. But when it comes to Mac products, I have no clue as to, anything about them. But I do appreciate them. I mean, they do have some pretty nice nice tech, nice looking.
Yeah, well, I was an Apple tech support guy for many, many years, on-site help and that. And
Right.
For a long time, the Apple community, we were the minority, the oppressed, invisible minority struggling for legitimacy and critical mass in the market. And even I am blown away by Apple's stratospheric rise to the top of technology and their market share and their growth, even just in the laptop and desktop computer, continues to set new records in a desktop PC market that's sort of dying and struggling right now. So it's kind of a good time to be, because there's more people than ever that have switched from Windows to a Mac. They're like going, okay, well, now that I have a Mac, how do I do this, or this? And for a lot of them, they're like going, boy, there isn't software to do that on a Mac.
Right.
Maybe on a real high level, there are kind of three ways to, for SEO or internet marketing, link building. There are OS 10 native applications. There's not a lot of them because developers were like, this isn't a big enough market for us to, pursue and write programs for. So we've always kind of suffered that way. A lot of marketing programs run on Adobe Air, so the developers can write a program once and it runs the same on Mac or PC.
Right.
So that's been really good. But that is all, this idea of installing and running software on your computer is being blown away by what they call SaaS, or software as a service cloud programs. Some aspects of my niche of helping people Mac SEO and web development and stuff, a lot of this is all moving to the cloud, and these issues of incompatibility or not having a program that does X, Y, or Z are rapidly disappearing because of
cloud-based
power
services. Yeah. Well, I'm just one of those people that I like to use whatever is convenient and priced right and works. If it works, then I stay with it. I'm not one of those kind of guys that'll beat something over the head and say, well, I've got to make it work. I don't believe in that. So
yeah, I'm not.
Hi, and welcome to the Blab.Cafe. This is a place where you can introduce your business, products, and or services. Today I have Lee Mann. How you doing, Lee?
I'm good. Yeah. I'm just hanging out here in New Jersey in the blizzard. Yeah. So you were asking me a little bit about my business. I do a big mixture of things. So part of my business is working in hospitals, which ends up being a lot of work with swallowing disorders. It can be people who've had strokes or who are just getting older, or there's a whole array of health issues that can cause a swallowing problem, and they're often not very well understood and they're sneaky. So that's a lot of what I do. And then a lot of things with cognition and language. Again, strokes tend to be an issue or trauma if somebody's had a brain injury, tracheostomies, and we work with voice valves and things like that. But in my private practice, I'm doing a lot in the corporate world with accent coaching and voice coaching. So it's basically anybody who's either being held back by the way they speak, whether it be a regional accent or a foreign accent on English. It can also just be how somebody habitually uses their voice. And a lot of that tends to be posture and breath control. It can be a confidence issue. I have a lot of training in mind-body medicine and meditation, and I have a lot of tricks up my sleeve that are just really fun to use. And working with a healthy person who just has an issue with how they habitually do something is really fun because it's really empowering, and it's very easy to make small tweaks and make a big change overall. So that's what I'm
pretty
doing.
interesting.
It is.
Yeah, because I had this operation here on my neck where they went in, and when they do this operation, they actually push your whole esophagus over to the side, and then they go in and they do the operation. Then
Did
they
you have
put
your
back.
discs work done?
Yeah, it was for cervical 6 or 7. Anyways, when they were doing that, they sewed me back up and they sent me home. The following day, I was like going, "Oh, my throat's so sore. I couldn't swallow for like a week. I couldn't eat solid foods." And it was just because when I realized it, watching YouTube videos of how the procedure goes, I realized that they're really pushing all of that stuff over to the side, and
that's right.
Really
and
sore.
Sometimes those nerves actually get torn, or there are issues with the muscles that they had to cut in the nerves, and you can actually end up with a swallow that's not safe in some cases. Like, in other words, the food and liquid goes into your lungs, it goes into your windpipe instead, and or the food and liquid really, really stick in the throat, and so you have a high risk of choking on that. So I have worked with a lot of people who had that surgery, and then they have some swallowing problems from that.
Yeah.
But good for you that it resolved pretty quickly.
It didn't take too long. So what is it that you do? Are you like one of these out-call persons that come to a person's, or do you have a location where everybody meets up and you have like therapy lessons and things like that?
Yeah, well, my private practice is still in its infancy. So I just launched it last year. So for right now, I will go to the site of the person, but what's also exciting is telepractice. So I'm doing some of that where we use, I prefer like FaceTime or GoToMeeting, or I'm still exploring different video platforms for that, but we have stringent privacy requirements. So that is a whole new opportunity. But like, you may have a busy executive who wants to work on their voice or speech, and they don't have to leave their office, and no one around them has to know that they're being coached. So they can log on and have a video session. And that's the brilliant thing about it. And because it's communication, communicating via video is a very functional way to do that. If I can't hear you and understand you over a video camera, you can bet that your clients don't. If I'm this person trained in how to understand people you can't understand. So I am doing telepractice. You have to be licensed in the state where you're going to see the client, and I have licenses for New York, New Jersey, and California for right now.
So you just take a flight over there, talk to them online. Okay.
Yeah. So, and it's good because as you know, I speak German, and I also speak French and a fair bit of Spanish, and I have a really sensitive ear for different languages, and that has really helped me to coach people because I'm able to kind of have a certain amount of ear empathy for why they're doing what they're doing. Beyond just the standard English training. Right. It's really fun. Yeah.
You need to get to those upper levels.
I can help you do that too. It's interesting. This is actually me coming full circle into why I became a speech pathologist in the first place. I had another career before in business, and went into this strictly to do accents and voice work, like with actors and singers. And I kind of got a detour in grad school, and I ended up in the medical world. So I did years of just hospital and outpatient work with all the medical stuff. And when I relocated last year, I used it as an opportunity to launch this private practice. And then the more I learned about telemedicine, I was like, this would be perfect for a coaching practice. And here we are with Blab. It's so fun, and it's just great. I had a really funny story yesterday. I was in Target prepping for the blizzard, and I'm walking past the cleaning products, and there's this tiny little boy with his mother, and she's going, what? And I hear him saying, DHC. And she's just going, what? And he keeps saying that. And I realize he's pointing at a rack of Swiffer products and he's saying Deep Couch City. He's quoting the commercial. Have you ever seen with the dad and the little boy? So this little bitty kid recognized the Swiffer box and he's trying to say Deep Couch City to his mother. So as I'm walking by, I go, he's saying Deep Couch City. And she's like, what? So I translated the commercial to her and then the kid's like, yeah, that's it.
Oh, yeah. That's funny.
Like, speech pathologist. Got you covered.
Yeah. Well, that's great. So what I'm going to ask you to do is go ahead and share all of your links that are pertinent and relevant. Yeah. And what I'll do is I'll extract those links and put them into the show notes over on YouTube. And I don't know if you can see it still, but it's probably scrolled up there. Yeah, it's not too far up. I have a link for my YouTube channel.
Okay.
So I'll put that down lower. And then you can find it a little bit easier.
Wonderful.
But, yeah, so what I'll do is this is Blab.Cafe number 71. So when you go over there and check out the web page or the YouTube channel, you'll be able to see that there.
Thank you. Great to talk to you today.
You, Lee.
Me too. Enjoy Denmark.
Take it easy and stay warm.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Whoops. Hi, welcome back to the Blab.Cafe. This is a place where you can introduce your business products and or services. Today I have Ahmed Hazel, or is it Ahmed Hazel?
Hazel.
Hazel. Okay, cool. How you doing, Ahmed?
I'm fantastic. And you, Donald?
Pretty good. Staying warm. It's cold here too. So, yeah. So what kind of business projects are you involved with?
So I'm into what's technically called mortgage-backed securities, but we generally call it buying non-performing mortgage notes. And basically what we do is we buy these notes from banks and hedge funds, and they're problem loans, and we work with the homeowners to get them back on track and help them stay in their homes and live the American dream.
Wow, that was very short and concise, but it was also pretty noble. I mean, that's pretty neat. I actually just recently met a guy who writes software that does something similar to what you're talking about. And I thought, when I saw that, I was like going, wow, that's a really neat thing to do, because there's a lot of people that don't, it's not that they don't want to pay their bills. It's just that they don't have like a plan or like a really good laid out format to where they can buy groceries and still make their mortgage payment, for example, you know? So,
yeah, and it only takes one life-changing event for a spouse to pass away, needing to downsize or upsize, or, a divorce. Any small life, well, it's not really small, but any little thing can upset the balance of the household and cause someone to go into default. And then once you're in default, if you don't have all of the money to pay the bank, then you just get further and further behind. Right. And I'm talking about really good people, good Americans that are just in trouble.
Yeah.
And because of the bank structure, they can't really help them.
Yeah. And because of the old rule is that it's been done the same way for so many years, and it's like there's nobody out there that's really beating down the doors to change anything. So it's nice that you can offer services like that. So where are you? How do you work it? I mean, do all of your work online, offline, face to face? You have a brick and mortar office, or I mean, how does that work? Your communication with those clients.
What we do is probably 90% of the business is online.
Okay.
Just working with banks, exchanging Excel sheets with the relevant data on it to purchase the loans and things like that. And then from there, through servicing companies, we work with the homeowners. Because there's some laws in place that keeps somebody like me from calling the homeowner. You don't want the president of the bank calling you up at home at, 8:30 at night asking you when you're going to make a payment. So
harassment and stuff like that comes into play. Yeah.
So we have servicing companies that kind of handle that process for us. But once it gets to a certain point, the servicing company will reach out to us and say, well, we kind of hit a wall. What do you want us to do? And I may say, well, if Miss Jones owes $20,000, just forgive the debt on the file and let's get her started with making her $900 a month payments from there. And I'll let them communicate. But what we were doing so much business that, and we also work with other investors that are looking to get into the space. And with those investors, I found myself having to coach them through the business as I did investments with them, which was burning up a tremendous amount of my time. Mm-hmm. So we created a fund where an investor can invest their capital without having to build the infrastructure that we have to liquidate these assets.
Right. Well, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
So what I'll do is ask you to go ahead and go in there and share your links. So is there a specific website, or do you have multiple locations where people can get a hold of you? Is it through your Twitter page or Facebook, or is it all done basically on that one website?
Well, yeah, I'm pretty personable. So you can find me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. I'll put the links in.
Okay, cool.
If someone is interested in learning about the business, I have a webinar that they can take a look at. If somebody wants direct contact to me, I'll give them my phone number. I'm pretty accessible. I can't always answer the phone because I spend probably 90% of my day on the phone. But when I get a chance, I always look to reach out and make connections.
Cool. That sounds great. It was great meeting you, Ahmed. And like I said, what I'll do is I'll take those links and I will put them into the show notes over on YouTube. And if you just do me a favor and take a note that this is Blab.Cafe number 71, then that way you can actually find the video tomorrow on YouTube.
Will do.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks for having me, Donald.
Thanks for joining Blab.Cafe number 71. It's been a long day after the Blab.Cafe tutorial number 70. And this one, it feels like a long day. So I got to do a little bit of after work and editing and stuff like that. But thanks for joining. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.